Well, look, Kelly Clarkson is here. Hey, how are you?
I'm great.
So we've got your new record here, My Life Would Suck Without You. This is the first time you've seen it.
Well, it's the first time I've seen the, like, booklet part, like, like, in form that y'all get. I've seen it, like, on the computer, you know, they send you the images, because I have to approve it, but, like, I've never seen it like that.
Well, you look gorgeous.
Thank you. Well, hair, makeup.
You look gorgeous today, and you look gorgeous.
So, thank you very much. It's very cute. It's very candy. I've never really done the colors like that before, so.
Yeah.
I love this new song, but the video with it is fab as well, because you're quite rock and roll in it. You're kind of giving a guy a hard time, throwing a lot of clothes out of the window. I love that.
We were throwing each other's stuff out the window, and well, it's always awkward, right? Because they, you know, you have a love interest in the video sometimes, and you have to have chemistry like right off the bat. So that can be a little awkward sometimes. But he was really cool, the guy that Houston that played in the video, and it was a cute video. It's the story's real cute, and the performance was kind of cool, rock and roll on an old playground. So
no, it's great. Really good song. I loved it. I mean, it was sort of a bit different from your first two albums. I mean, you're slightly going in a
if you're slightly going in a nicer way, I guess. No, this is kind of the first song that I've had out that's like not a boy bashing song. So yeah, no, it's kind of a sweet take. Or like I guess a rocker kind of take on a sweet message. Yeah. So
have you got sort of more, as your career's developed, and we all know how it began and everything, have you got more control over it now? Or did you feel like, oh, I've got to do what everybody says when that all happened to you from American Idol?
No, I mean, it's always been from day one, even after Idol, a pretty, compromised situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to, everybody, wants the record to be successful, and so, even from my first record, you have to fight to get
and the fact that you were on the very first series of American Idol, and you actually have been the biggest success, I would say, that's ever come out of Idol. Do you watch it now? Are you still a kind of viewer of it?
Yeah. I think it's, one, hilarious when all the people are bad, and two, I think it's just a cool show. I love watching talent. So.
Would you have gone on it again? Would you go on it now if you weren't doing what you were doing, but you were still a struggling singer somewhere?
I would definitely. I think. Well, I mean, the funny thing about it is, I lived in LA before I did Idol and was offered a couple contracts, but I mean, they wanted me to be everything I didn't want to be. I wasn't allowed to write at all. I wasn't allowed to. It was very like packaged, and I was like, no, that's not my thing. Something better will come along, and so. It did, fortunately for me, but the show is cool. I got to sing what I wanted, I got to wear what I wanted, I got to say what I wanted without somebody forcing me to say something, so...
I mean, you said you've been offered a couple of contracts. People assume the people who are on these shows, have kind of just sprung from home, I've done a bit of singing, and immediately started...
I just woke up one day after high school and thought, why not sing?
But you'd had a real slog at this, hadn't you, before the
I did the whole lived on the mattress, sang behind bands.
I think that's probably why you've been such a big success, because I think in order to survive in this industry and in order to survive a huge show like that and all that goes with it, you really do need to have that background of really slogging it out, really have a born talent to sing. So a lot of them are trying to kind of sing for the show but can't actually, maintain it.
And in all fairness, like, in defense of all the contestants that came after, because I was on the first season in America, so we'd never heard of the show, so it's all very new, even though it started here, obviously, but in America, like, I didn't know it was a TV show until the third audition. I didn't know, we didn't even know it was going to be successful on TV.
Did you know who Simon Cowell was?
Not a clue.
No.
Like, I mean, I knew, I was
Simon
the nerd. I was the nerd who actually knew Randy Jackson because he worked with a lot of people I loved, and I'm the nerd that reads the booklets, like when you buy the CD.
So do I.
Yeah, I'm a nerd.
Don't you miss that downloading, you see? That's what, I mean...
Well, now, even if you download it on iTunes as well, they give you the booklet.
Do they?
Yeah, so you can still look at stuff.
Mark, you finally found a kindred spirit.
There you go.
I know. I'm a vinyl girl too. I like to buy stuff on vinyl. So.
I just grew up like devouring all the stuff on the sleeve
and all that.
I'm the
same way. And I would like stay in my room for hours. My mom thought I was weird.
Did you see who engineered this? It was like, I mean, but you had tough times, didn't you? Is it right that was it your car set on fire and your or was it your apartment set on fire and the car got towed away?
My car got towed like twice. And once it stayed there for a really long time, and I had to walk to work. That was in LA.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know. I come from like a smaller town, especially compared to like LA, and we didn't have like business areas to where you can't make U-turns. I didn't know like the basic rules that came with driving in LA. Like I didn't grow up with those rules, so I kept getting like ticketed, and then if I couldn't pay my tickets and they take my car, it was really bad.
Well, let's hear Kelly's new single, My Life Would Suck Without You. Kelly Clarkson, My Life Would Suck Without You, which is her new single. But do you know when that's out? I mean, apart from the fact that everything's available all the time, forever, isn't it?
It actually leaked, the entire album, like a day ago, so it's all over line, so.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
So that's kind of scary, but yeah. But people seem to be liking it. I just hope they buy it, so.
That's it, so they can get, that's the trouble, isn't it? It's great that everybody can hear these things for free, but at some point you need them to pay a bit.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, I guess if you're not going to buy, at least come to a show or something. Like,
buy a t-shirt.
Yeah, I'm like, man. But it is kind of weird. Like, the album comes out in like 2 weeks, and it's like, everybody's like, I love your album, and I'm like, don't tell me you've heard it!
You shouldn't have even seen it. You hadn't even seen the cover of this.
It's funny. But, I mean, with the internet these days, you can't. I hear the U2 album leaked as well, so.
I think a lot of them do, sadly, nowadays.
Yeah.
And is there anybody, I mean, people like you can go and do duets with pretty much anybody, I would think, if you wanted to. Is there somebody out there that you just still dream of singing alongside?
I'd love to do something with either, like, Adele or Pink. Or, I don't know, just something, artists that I really love to listen to. I'd love to work with them.
Adele, she is a hoot.
Yeah.
She is such a fun girl.
A beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's killer.
I know.
I love Pink as well. She's very hardcore. I love it. So.
Yeah.
And talking of your voice, because your voice is so strong, so fantastic, and actually seeing you in the flesh, you're quite little and petite with such an amazing.
Well, you are my favorite friend for calling me little petite.
No, you just. But how do you take? Are you somebody that really takes care of your voice? I mean, do you do all kinds of gargling and honey and lemon and?
Oh, I don't do that.
Or you just no.
I mean, I warm up. I grew up singing classical music, so they would teach you like to warm up and cool down, and how to sing properly. So there are points to where you can't help it because you're working so much, you're traveling so much, you inevitably you might get sick, or something like that. So it's like you can't help some things, but most of the time I'm pretty in control of the situation. Cool.
Weren't you overheard singing in the hallway of your school? Wasn't that kind of how it began?
You do know my background. Yes. No, it was. I never sang in front of people, and. My parents and I, we were always kind of in and out of the house at different times, so they never heard me sing either.
Right.
But were you in the school choir as well?
I wasn't yet. I was actually walking around, and you're forced to either be, and I said forced to us, they let you either be in choir or band. You have to have one of those electives when you're in junior high in Texas.
What band? You mean like a marching band thing?
Yeah, and my whole thing was I wanted to play drums, so I was like, okay, cool, I'll be in band if I have to pick one, whatever.
Yeah.
Then I was helping teach, my mom was a teacher in the district, and I was helping teachers move books or whatever, and I was singing in the hallway at this junior high, and the choir teacher stopped me and was like, are you going to be in choir? Because I'd really love for you to be in choir. And I was like, I laughed, and I was like, okay. One, I'm not a choir nerd, and two, I was way too cool for it. And then I was like, and two, I can't really sing. And she was like, no, you really can. And people find it funny, but you don't really know that you're really talented at something. I guess if people don't.
Well, it's a gift. I always think beautiful voices are a real gift, and sometimes people just don't realize.
Everyone thinks they sound good in the shower, right? So
well, this is an interesting thing, do they? Because every time we watch these audition shows, and the Pop Idol and things, on the auditions, people come up and you think, they must be having a laugh. They must know that they can't sing. But do
No, they don't. No,
one of the girls that came before me on the show, it was the most horrifying thing to witness. She literally went in there with all her heart and soul, was so into that. She did a class. It sounded, I think she was trying to do it pop, but it sounded like classical meets pop, but in a very bad way. And it was just, she got brutalized by the judges, and she was bawling, and her mom was sitting out there going, don't worry, baby, we'll take you somewhere else. And I'm like, why would you lie to her? My mother is the complete opposite. She's like, she'll come to a show and be like, I did not like that song you did there.
You see, that's what I want someone to do a really bad audition, and then their mum to come in and say, see, I told you, right?
I know, that's what I'm saying. They don't.
Now, having not known who Simon Cowell was, presumably your first encounter with him was singing in front of him. And I can't remember now. What were your very first comments from him? Was he nice to you in the beginning, or did you? And did it discolour your view of all English people? Did you think, I hope they're not all like this?
No, actually, I might be one of the only person in history on the show that he's never been mean to. So he was never mean to me. Yeah.
Wow.
He didn't. Yeah, and I don't think in a positive way. I'm not trying to brag about it. I think he didn't remember me until I think we got to the top 10. He just didn't remember me. The one, which is not a positive thing, but I was, lack of memory. But anyway, Randy was really on my side. Randy really liked me and pushed me through the whole thing. But he was really nice. Simon never. I don't remember my first audition, honestly. I know I went in there and and they said I ended up switching Randy places for some reason. I don't remember. Right. And I judged him, and he performed, and it was really awkward. I know. I think I was going for personality in case they didn't like it. I was like, at least I can get on if I make them laugh. Yeah.
Well, look, it's great to see you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Great to meet you.
All I Ever Wanted is Kelly's new album, and the single, which we just heard, is My Life Would Suck Without You. Kelly Clarkson, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Terry Wogan.
Let me entertain you.